Right guys, welcome back to a brand new video and something a little bit different here today, and it is another video on Assetto Corsa. Last time we did this, it was with Kimi Raikkonen at Suzuka in the 2005 McLaren, and it went down incredibly well. You guys really enjoyed that, and I want to do more of this kind of content, so consider this almost the start of a mini-series, if you will, and if it goes down well, I'll do more of these. But this is us racing in the legendary Renault R25, the very last F1 car to win the championship under the V10 engine era, and this is Fernando Alonso's first ever World Championship winning car. And I thought it'd be quite fitting, you know, I recently downloaded this mod, and also around the same time I also signed with FA Racing Esports, which is Fernando Alonso's esports team, so I thought it'd be quite fitting to have a little go and a little spin in one of his championship winning cars, and a fantastic looking car, and like I mentioned, the last ever V10 championship car, so it's going to be a very good experience, something I'm looking forward to. And today we are racing around Interlagos. The link to the mod of the car in itself will be linked down below in the description if you guys want to go check it out for yourselves. And we're going to do some experimenting here today to see how this car handles, and overall just to enjoy that V10 feeling. A few facts I want to point out about this car. Besides the obvious, the key thing about this one, it's also the last ever F1 car to have 6 gears. So, you know, most cars you'd think have 7, and, you know, F1 cars had 7 gears as early as like 1994, 95, but the Renault was the very last team to go for the 7-gear approach, and this was the last car because for 2006 it was mandatory to have 7 gears on the car. So this is also not just the last ever V10 championship car, but it's also the last ever championship 6-gear winning car. So interesting little fact for you guys here today, but we're going to jump into things here, not babble on for too long, and we're going to jump into the racing and hopefully enjoy this absolutely legendary F1 car. So yeah guys, let's jump into it and let's see how we get on. First of all, let's cycle through a couple of the camera views you can see on this car. So you're currently just looking at the off-board view, but you've also got a couple of on-board options. So you've got the T-cam, which is very close to the real thing, dare I say absolutely dead on. You've also got options here, for example, the side of the helmet, the kind of classic 80/70 F1 camera on the side. You've also got the front nose, which was very popular at the time, you know, with F1 races. In the broadcast, they'd constantly show this camera in all the cars with their close battles. You've also got the also very famous, especially camera view we have nowadays with the halo, which looks at the driver's helmet. We didn't really have this view back in the day. You've also got the side helmet, which was also quite popular back in the day as well on hot laps, and then also the rear view, of course, and then back to the T-cam. But we're going to be racing in cockpit view here today, so as you can see, this is the view we're going to have inside the action stations, if you will, of this car, and I cannot wait. So let's jump into it and let's hit the track for the first time. So here we go then, let's get up to speed on the racetrack, let's get some revs going and let's see how this car sounds. Pretty damn good. The idle sound as well is quite nice. Not as aggressive as the McLaren I drove the other day, but still sounds very nice. That V10 goodness is still there, but this car does sound a lot better on the racetrack. So let's speed up here and let's get underway then, and let's hit the Interlagos circuit. I've downloaded this track. It looked pretty good from what I could tell from the pictures, so yeah, we're going to see how we get on. And basically guys, this will be potentially the start of a new series. So what I want to do here is I want to see how this video goes down, and if you guys like it, I've got a couple of other cars from the ones I drove with. I've got the 2001 Minardi, I've also got the 2007 McLaren, and between these 3 cars we could probably alternate and make a little mini-series where we probably drive the old F1 cars around the modern F1 tracks. So as you guys may or may not know, last year I did a series where we took the current 2019 F1 car around former F1 tracks that no longer are on the calendar. So I thought, you know what, why don't we reverse the concept and take an older F1 car around the current F1 tracks. So let me know what you guys think of that, and it would be probably Fernando Alonso's cars, like I said, because I'm a member of the FA Racing Esports family, therefore, you know, I want to try something with them. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below guys as we go up to speed with this car, and yeah, we're going to see how this feels. I want to double check my traction control here. So we've got it on level 6, which is maximum, which of course these cars did have traction control at the time, so it should allow me to put the power down quite nicely. So I'm just going to test it, and we can put full power down, so that's fine. I didn't quite have it set accordingly or properly at Suzuka the other day with Raikkonen, so that was a mistake on my behalf, but this time I've made sure it's all working. But so far this this Brazil circuit looks pretty accurate, so let's get up to speed and let's give it some, and let's see what we can do here, and hopefully we can set a pretty decent benchmark in a respectable lap time. So messed it up straight away into turn 1, locking up easily there. Getting used to 6 gears as well, I've got to remember that. I'll keep going up and down, I'm thinking there's more gears, but there ain't any more. There's literally 6 gears in this car, which feels so weird considering the modern F1 cars have 8 gears. But like I mentioned in the last episode, the 2005 cars also had tyres that lasted an entire race. So they were very, very hard and quite hard to get temperature in, so it might take a couple of laps to really get these up to full temperature. I've got fuel simulation turned off, of course, because we just want to be able to just enjoy this and do lots of laps. But this is an interesting one. The car does require understeer in low speed. Of course, we'll eventually do setup work. I just want to see if I can get a couple of laps in with the default setup, and then we'll start trimming the car down and really trying to push for that lap time. It feels weird having traction control. I just don't run it, you know, so using it here just feels kind of cheating in a way. But then again, these cars have so much power, the V10 engine, it kind of needed it. Right then, so that first lap was a bit of a disaster. We'll go again, and we'll try and set a better lap time. So let's see. Across the start finish, turn 1, you want to look at the tarmac ending on the right hand side as a reference as you approach. Back up again there, picking up a lot of understeer, but we do manage to get it somewhat slowed down this time. Getting the power down quite nicely through turn 2, through turn 3. No DRS of course in these cars as we race down towards turn 4. We're at the third gear here, possibly second, yeah, second gear. See, that's just impossible in a modern F1 car, second gear through there. Up the hill, into the double rights. Using third. Again, in the modern F1 car, you're probably in sixth gear through there. As we get a bit wide at the top of the hill. Going to use first. Picking up a lot of understeer in this car, can't lie, really struggling at low speed. Same issue I had with the McLaren. Probably my driving style. But at least this is a better lap. We haven't had any major mistakes, so we'll at least get some form of reference on the board. A little bit wide there, a little bit of a lock up, but we just about get away with it. Right then, let's see what this first lap time is. No major mistakes in this one. Just not very quick, but let's see what it is as we approach the old kind of pit complex and onto the start finish. And it's going to be a 13.7, so there you go. Let's see if we can have a couple of laps where we try and beat that, and then eventually we'll start making setup work. So I'm going to get my head down now and see if I can beat that lap time. Right then, so we've done a couple of laps. This one is a little bit of a better one. I've just got to get used to using first gear. It just feels so alien to me, so foreign, you know, using first gear. This is something you wouldn't do. Also, you know, downshifting a lot more aggressively, because with the modern F1 cars, they're a lot more rear end heavy. So if you downshift really aggressively, you're just going to spin round. Whereas with these cars, you can definitely push the gearbox a lot more. And also, like I said, use the lower gears. And because of the traction control, you can get away with it. And I'm starting to really find some confidence now. Realising that there's not very many limitations with this car. And if you really push it, there's actually a lot of time to find. Right, let's see if we can just creep into the 112s. But this will be my last lap with this current setup. And we'll start making some changes up to the line. Not quite. 13.0. Right then, so we're going to make a few changes here. Take a lot of fuel out of course, and also maybe adjust the aerodynamics possibly. But I'm enjoying this car already. It is nice to drive this car. There is something satisfying about driving a V10, I can't lie. But let's go back to the pit lane and let's make some changes. Okay, so in terms of the setup changes, I've adjusted the gearbox. I've made it a lot shorter. Again, back in these days you could change the gearbox, and it was very important to get the gearbox and each individual gear absolutely perfect. I've shortened all the gears as a whole, and then the sixth gear a little bit more, just so we can really max it out. Also a bit more front wing on the car. I've gone from medium to soft tyres, and we've also halved the fuel, or even more than half. We've gone from 90 litres down to 25 litres of fuel. So a lot lighter car, a little bit more front end, and also a bit more of an aggressive setting. Let's see how this works out. Already the car feels a lot quicker. As you can see, also the top speed we're maxing out here, 323 k's into turn 1. And that's more like it. That's more like pushing the limits. That's what I want to see. This feels fantastic already. I could definitely push the car a lot more with this. And we can still go even quicker. We've got super soft tyres available. And we can take more fuel out. 4 tenths up already. That's what we want to see. I want the power so much quicker now. The real test is going to come from the low speed corners. So let's see how the car handles. First of all, we've got to get through this double right. I always turn in too late for the first one. And that puts me offline for the second one. A lot better. I can get the power a lot earlier. Still some pretty severe understeer going on, but the car does feel a lot better. There's also a certain angle of wheel turn to get more bite into the corner. It's kind of interesting actually. But down the hill we go, down the Interlagos. 1.3 up, what a difference. The car's incredibly nippy now, very quick. light, nimble, all the good things you know from these cars, because obviously back in the day these cars are a lot smaller than the current F1 cars, and also so much lighter as well. Across the line, 11.3, look at that. Really starting to push the limits now to turn 1. Trying to carry second gear through there. This is more like it now. Really starting to build that confidence. Let's focus and try and get into the 110s with this setup. Oh, big save. Lost my advantage there. Pushed the limits a bit too much. We'll go again. But first little mistake, even with the traction control, you can still kind of spin the car a bit. The curbs can bite. Let's go again. I think a 110 is possible on a perfect lap. This car is so much fun to drive now with a little bit less fuel and a bit more aggressive setup. I'm a tenth of a second up here. A better lap this time, no mistakes. Through the scene of Interlagos. As we run up to the line, let's see what we do. Not going to be a 110, it's going to be 11.2. Still a good lap though. The car is so quick. I can go flat out through there, through turn 2. Really push the limits. Absolutely love it. Let's keep going here. I want to try and get that 110. Okay, this could be close. This has been a really good lap here. Really enjoyed it. If this isn't a 110, then it's not going to happen with this setting. Up to the line we go. Is it enough? Not quite. 11.0. I like it though. We're starting to get to the limit of this car now. I'm just going to do a bit of research and see what the fast lap of the race was in this race, because I'm curious. As the McLarens were quicker on the day, but I want to see what the Renaults possibly did. If not, then I'll settle for the McLaren's lap. But I think we should try and aim for that kind of lap, so let's see what the pace was. Okay, so as we leave the pit lane here, I've done some investigating, and in qualifying, Fernando Alonso got pole position with a 111.9. In the race, Montoya won the race, but Kimi Raikkonen got the fastest lap, and he did a 112.2, so we've already beaten the laps, which is good. Obviously, in qualifying, they used to run race fuel, it's worth noting. So, obviously, we're way below that. We're running 10 litres in the car now, and I've got the super soft tyres on. So this is going to be like if you will, an unrealistic super qualifying lap. So we're just going to see what this car can do at its absolute best and the peak of its powers. So let's see how this lap goes as we get everything ready for the hot lap. And we're going to have a couple of goes at this, see how quick we can really go. I want to try and say maybe a 10.5. That'd be a good lap, maybe a little bit below. If we get below 110, that'd be absolutely ridiculous. But I don't think there's going to be that much of a difference between the super soft to the soft. And also 25 litres to 10 litres isn't going to be that much of a change. But let's give it a go. Let's find out. I'm also concerned that maybe the gear's a little bit too low. I haven't touched the gears. I left them as they were before. But with less fuel and better tyres, we might max out the limit a little bit earlier. So I might have to increase the final rev a little bit. I think we are going to have to do that. But let's give it a go then. Let's do one lap. As I get the downshift warning there. A little bit too hot into turn 1. Not quite flat through to, a little bit scruffy there. Not the best start to the lap. We'll probably be down in sector 1, I reckon. Let's have a look. I think we are going to be down. I'd be shocked if we're up. Yeah, we're down. Turn 4. Nice and aggressive there. I can definitely take a lot more inside curb. That was a bit of an experiment because I haven't really used the inside curb there, but we'll definitely lean on that. If we do a double rise, I want to keep it in 4th gear. A little bit too early on the turn in there. Let's see what low speed grip we have. Oh, okay, now we've got loads of grip with these super soft tyres on. This is fantastic. I can get the power down so early, also with traction control. Early apex, that seems to work better for me through there. Quickly on the power. I think we should be up in sector 2 here. Yes, we are. 2 tenths. Oh dear, that inside curb just spun me there. That was not in the plans. Right then, what we'll do is I'm going to quickly go back and adjust the gears because I need to increase that final gear a little bit. I don't think that's enough, so we're just going to make a quick tweak and we'll be back on the racetrack. Right then, the gearbox has been adjusted accordingly. We should have 6 more Ks on the straight now. So instead of maxing out around 323, we should max out around 329. And that should make the difference between letting us go all the way down towards turn 1 and not maxing out completely. You can see here 325 almost, down towards turn 1. A little bit cautious on the brakes there. I thought the overspeed would have maybe caught me out, but we continue flat out through 2 and 3, of course. Let's see if we're up in sector 1 here. This is going to be pretty close. And we're down. Quite surprising. Very early on the power there. Much better this time. I know I can improve in sector 2. I know there's about 2 to 3 tenths here, so let's push on, keeping it in 4th gear through that first part. Much better line there. Get it slowed down for the hairpin. Quickly back on the gas. Second, back down to first. Quickly back up to second. Lots of playing around with the gears to really maximise your apexes. Down towards the hairpin. Apex, early apex there, turning in. Car feels very nervous now, very aggressive. I might tamper with the traction control. Possibly. Only half second up there, a little bit wide. Missing my apex, but we use the curb on the exit to still get the traction down. I'm going to just make a tweak to the traction control here and knock it down to level 5. I think I can get away with a little bit less traction control, so I can have a bit of a better exit. Across the line though, a 10.6. Good lap there. A little bit wide through turn 1. Good exit though through 2 and 3 again. Now we're going to really start to push the limit of this Renault car. This is a better lap, a 10.5 up, and we didn't make the mistake. We actually got the apex at the final corner this time, so there should be an improvement as we run up to the line, keep it nice and tight without cutting the pit lane. There we go, 10.2. I think there is a sub 1 minute 10 lap in there somewhere. I've struggled to get turn 1 though so far in the 2 laps I've done. I've missed the apex both times, but there is a 1 minute 9 lap there somewhere. Let's push on now for a couple of laps. Let's try and give it everything. Let's see if we can get below 1 minute 10. Oh, that's a bit wide. Pushing the limits a bit too much there. Tyres overheating maybe. Just going to cool off for 1 lap. And slow down. Tyre wear is off. Just the tyre temperatures might be on, so I'm just going to cool off. I really can't beat my lap. I've tried so many laps and I can't get near it. I've made a few last adjustments. I've tweaked the brake bias, moved it back slightly. Hopefully that will pay off. And I've also reduced the front wing back to the default value. So let's see if these changes will hopefully help us out. Oh, damn it. I was up. Back end went on the braking, pushed it too hard. What a shame. That was the one. We'll keep trying. I do think, there might not be a 1 minute 9 in there anymore, but there's definitely an improved 1 minute 10 as I tried to do a fixed spin with traction control on and fail miserably. Right, let's try it again. Oh, damn it, back end again. Now the brake bias is starting to bite. I'm starting to think about, I'm going to beat this lap. Oh, man. Oh, no, I was up. That was such a good sector 2, but I just got some oversteer mid-corner. I had to correct it, and that's put me on the grass. That's going to ruin my lap. We're so close. So close. Oh, man. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm trying, and it's just not happening. I don't know what to do. I've done 35 laps. My God, that's so many laps. But I'm having so much fun. It's such a fun car to drive, and it's such a challenge. You just want to keep on improving and find the lap time, but oh man, it's just such a challenge. Yes, there we go. Finally, an improved lap time. I'll take that. That will do. It's not a 109, but I'd have to really go into detail of the setup and everything to get that perfect. But oh my goodness me, that was such a challenge. 37 laps just to improve by 0.037, but that's what it's all about at the end of the day. A 110.2 overall, 2 seconds quicker than the race time lap from Kimi, and almost 2 seconds quicker than Alonso's 11.9 from qualifying. But that was of course, you know, taking a few out, running the super soft tyres and really maxing it out. In real life, of course, you'd go for, say, a soft or medium tyre, more of a race tyre, and also run, you want to say, at least 30 to 35 litres of fuel, you know, whereas here it was like literally 8 litres, it was nothing. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. You guys are now going to see the replay of the lap, so enjoy it. And I'm going to bring her into pit lane for the last time. And yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like I said, something a little bit different here today. And, you know, it's a new kind of series with this car. And I might do more of this stuff if you guys want to see more. Let me know in the comments down below. I can do other cars as well. I've got, like I said, 2007 McLaren. I've got also 2001 Minardi as well. But yeah, guys, that is it for this video here today. If you enjoyed it, drop a like and also get subscribed if you are new for more content like this, guys. And also turn on notifications to not miss any videos from me, whether it be this or Formula 1 career mode content. And also finally check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.